Hello, in this video I'm going to do a retro review of Warhammer Fantasy Battles 6th edition. Okay, let's go. So it's a hefty book. It was produced in 2000. It's weighing out 288 pages, so you get quite a bit in there. There's about some real classic miniatures there. Sadly, you can't get any of these orcs anymore. They've been cancelled, especially, that one there, the Brian Nelson orc shame. Just bring it to focus. There we are. Yeah, absolute classic model, that one. But yeah, this is a great book. I mean, this, I just have to start with this. This sort of wood relief, sort of Anglo-Saxon, almost Bayeux tapestry sort of effective gone for. It's such a really nice style. Also, this is something that really appeals to me. Modern Games Workshop artwork, it's all over the place. You've no point of focus. Where with this picture here, even though it's a 2-page spread, your point of focus is this straight away. This is what's going to draw your eye in, and as you focus on this, your eye will wander along, and you'll start to see more and more detail, and then you'll see more as your eye goes along the artwork, and you'll go up and you'll explore the artwork. Modern Games Workshop artwork doesn't have that sort of central point of focus that first captures your attention and then lets you explore the artwork. It's just like an assault on the eyes, basically. It's all over, like bam, here we are. It's just not something I'm a fan of personally. You may like that, me, not so much. So I'm just going to flick for the pages again, see if the Bayeux tapestry sort of effect have gone for, like the Journey of Sigma. There we are. So yeah, it's just really nice. I mean, again, more artwork that has a central point of focus. Straight away, he's looking at you, boom, that's what you focus on, and then from there your eyes wander around, you see the dragon being shot by arrows. So yeah, again, it's something that, big fan of the old black and white Games Workshop artwork. So just the contents, again, boom, central point of focus. The rest is on the outside, blurring, but you wander as your eyes explore it. So let's get to the, it's classic. This is something that you don't really see now in Games Workshop rule books. About local gaming clubs. They're not really promoting as much as they used to do back in the day. Again, the old monitor, that's a blast from the past, as is this whole Games Workshop actual shop. Yeah, I think that's Jake Thornton, who's the old White Dwarf editor when I started reading White Dwarf, so I've revealed my age there, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, and the old painting studio. The old Games Day, is that Games Day 96? Yeah, I remember that one. I was there. And they don't have this anymore in the Games Workshop rulebooks from what I've seen. How to paint your miniatures. Okay, that's quite simple there. And it's how to take them off sprues, and it gives you an idea of the races of the old world, which is now sadly gone. Rest in peace, Bretonia. But yeah, it goes into more detail here on how to paint, like shade and highlighting. And it talks about shield designs. So again, you're not seeing this in the big books now. They'd rather sell it as a separate book. Banners, transfers, all brilliant things to have. And it's all about basing your units. And this one here about how to do like a batch painting, which is fantastic. It's all useful advice to people who are new to the hobby. If you were new to the hobby and you picked this up, this is exhaustive in its details given you. It's telling you everything you need to know, basically. And it gives you an example of 4 armies. Oh, again, rest in peace, Bretonia. I can't believe they got rid of Bretonia. They just, I'm not going to start on that one. Again, another thing's missing from Games Workshop games, how to make terrain. Because now Games Workshop, they've got to the point where they can make really nice plastic kits. So they'd rather sell you them. And that's nice and all, don't get me wrong. But the issue with them is there's no creativity in that, and every battlefield then starts to look with the same terrain. Whereas making your own terrain, you're adding your personality and your take on things. And I think there's an art to that, and that's how it should be with gaming. But yeah, the Perry Twins with their fantastic collection. So yeah, skip on through. Again, fantastic black and white artwork, sorry. And then the rules. I'm not going to go over the rules because there's a lot of rules. This comes from a time when Games Workshop's games were quite hefty on the rules. Again, just look at the artwork, just black and white, but so evocative. So it talks about units. If I can find there's some of the artwork I really want to show off because I think it's just there. This one, This for me just conjures up so much with so little. I'll just bring that into focus there. I mean, there's not much there if you look at it from an art point of view, but that is so evocative of the undead. The terror and fear you can just radiates from that picture. And yeah, I think now they've gone for a very sort of clean artwork. There's not much this sort of textured, gritty feel to the art now. So yeah, just going through more of the rules. Oh. I could be here all day just looking at the artwork and pointing out each bit. It's fantastic. But so you get the shooting, and I'm just going to flick through, flash forward a bit. So I think this is all. Yeah, this is all just the rules of the game. Again, this shows you the paint. Oh yes, the old river trolls attacking them. Well, the militia attacking the river trolls, and yeah, not coming out best there. But yeah, it comes from a time when Games Workshop games, the rules, they were quite involved in what you're doing in the game. Now they've for my taste, they're too simplified, far too simplified. And I like Age of Fantasy Regiments, which it can be argued is a very simplified game, but there's a lot of nuances in that. And this is nothing that's completely missing from Games Workshop games now. Psychology. They've just abandoned this approach to gaming, and it's a key aspect of warfare, especially warfare this sort of time period. Rank and flank sort of. I know it's fantasy, but it's based on rank and flank sort of warfare, and psychology was paramount to that sort of warfare. So that's all gone. So yeah, it has the rules of the game. Don't get to the, and then. Now I get common magic items. I think I've gone past the spells, yeah. The 8 laws. I mean, this was great. Magic in this game, it felt like a game within a game, because you got dice and you had to roll them and then your opponent would then get the spell dice. So you were battling against, it was a bluffing game of what spell I want to cast now. I've got 5 dice left. You know what spells I've got. Do you think I'm waiting to get this spell through? And there's a lot of bluffing that. So a lot of bluffing rather. So yeah, big fan of that. And the different laws each had their own personality as well, which affected, obviously, how they played. Yeah. The old spell lists. Again, fantastic artwork. So I'll fast forward now. So here we are, so the world of Warhammer. There it is, the old world. That's a much better version of the actual world there. I think this is a John Blanche, and I think when he does these sort of artwork pieces of Scribe, he bases it somewhat on himself. But yeah, the amount of detail on this is really nice. They are bringing out this again, apparently. They're revisiting the old world, but I'm not confident they're going to do it just as it deserves, personally. I think from what they've shown, they're going to go for too much of a high magic approach. I mean, there was high magic in this, but not where every guy had magic swords. Yeah, just a nice sort of world building here. And it's nice as well how some of the artwork looks unfinished. It hasn't been completed, because it's as if the scribe is just jotting down from pieces that they've heard from around the world. There we are. The old cigarettes from Lustria. The orc anatomy. Yeah. Haven't got the best posture, have they, really? So it's got all that there. It's got Warhammer armies at the back, which goes over, again, shows you the models. Some absolute classics here. These old rat ogres, I really miss them. That sort of stuff. The new ones, I don't know what they're doing with them. They're all over the place. Gatling guns here, and they're about yay big as well with these guys. Oh, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be too big. So yeah, absolute classic. I think these are based on Paul Sawyer's, aka Fat Bloke, used to be the editor of White Dwarf. Because those sort of banners look like the banners he did way back when he did Tale of 5 Gamers. That back, Tomb King's sadly gone. So that's enough of that. Let's have a look. And then scenarios. can turn the pages. So yeah, there's a lot in here, and each of the scenarios is based on like a historic event in the universe, so the world rather. So again, it's more lore building, more sort of build upon the mythos of the game. So it's historic. You can play like historical refights, or you can just play as a scenario for you and your friends with what you've got collection-wise. And there's quite a few in them. It's scenario 9. So there's enough to keep going there. And again, more how to make terrain, making a river, making a stepped hill. So yeah, it's really nice. Making a wood, making a hut. All basic stuff, but it's missing from a lot of games now, as I say. It's got that. I think there's more background. And then theming your areas, parts of the world. Again, I mean, Games Workshop do this sort of thing now, but it's more like it would be an actual book by itself with a terrain kit with it as well. And then appendices, I don't think they do these anymore either. So it's got rules for campaign, prepare for battle, skirmish. So it's a game for the game. Rules for a siege, again, that's another sort of game you can play. Preparing for a siege. Rules commentary, special rules, scales and measurements. So again, there's so much in this. And it's such a shame that Games Workshop don't do these. That was what came with 6th edition, the box set. That's why it's showing you them there. They don't do rule books this exhaustive and go into so much minute. I mean, if you go to the appendixes of this, the amount of detail it gives you is phenomenal. And one thing I do like is I can find it. Flip. Designer's notes. So this is really handy because this gives you an idea of what they were thinking when they made this, why they've done certain things the way they have done. It's something that you don't find now in Games Workshop games, and they should have this, I think, because it allows players to lean more into rules as written and get an idea of what the game design was actually trying to, what the intentions were by having something like this, because it gives you a peek into their mind, if you will. But no, completely gone now from the games. So yeah, on house rules, scales and measurements. So there's a lot in here. The old templates. Yeah. So that's the main rule book. And one of the best things I've always found about 6th edition was alongside this, you had this little thing. This came in White Dwarf. I believe it was. I can't call it the White Dwarf number. It was 21 years ago now. It's 50. Is it 15 or 16? Let me just check. Sorry, 15. They were called Get Your Buy lists. Unless you played Chaos Dwarfs, which I did at the time. So this was my only army book because Chaos Dwarfs never got a book for 6th edition. This was actually the last rule set that Games Workshop produced. I'm not counting the one by Forge World because that was like a alternative universe, if I remember correctly, for the Warhammer world. This was like the last Chaos Dwarf set of rules. I like this because it's stripped down. It's more about what your units have equipment-wise and what their stats are, and what you as a general do with your play style, your tactics, your strategy, what your list is. It's not so much about, oh, I've got this special rule and therefore I've got a better chance of winning. No, it was more about what equipment you have and your stat line. I mean, there are some special rules, don't get me wrong, but nowhere near the length we see now with Modern Games Workshop. And another thing that I really like about this is the Empire list. The Empire list here, it seems quite standard so far, and then until you get to this part here, and then you see Kislev Horse Archers, Kislev Winged Lancers, and then unit of Dwarfs, unit of Halflings, unit of Rights Guard. You can have the old Knight on foot, which is fantastic. And it also had, if I can find it, there we are, unit of Ogres, the War Wagon, Halfling Hot Pot, and the Steam Tank. They did bring the Steam Tank back, but when they brought out the 6th edition Empire book, they removed the Steam Tank, they removed the Hot Pot, they removed the War Wagon, they removed all the esoteric units like Ogres, Halflings and Dwarfs, because that was the thing. The Empire wasn't just the Empire of Men, it was mainly Empire of Men, but they also had races that were nearby, like for example the Halflings are from the Shire, which was in the Empire. The Dwarfs, they lived in the World's Edge Mountains, I believe it's called, which obviously traded with the Empire. Well, that's where Galmaraz comes from. It's a dwarf thing rune. So yeah, it was nice to have that. And then you could have rules for demon hosts. So again, very stripped down lists, more about what you do with them and not about specials. But I just want to look at the Chaos Dwarf one because, you know, Chaos Dwarfs are brilliant. I can find them. I think it might be the back, might be going the wrong way. Tomb Kings. This is when they did the split. I think they did a split in 5th edition when because before then Undead was just Undead. You can have mummies with your vampires, with your ghouls, with your Screaming Skull Catapults. Then they split the Undead into dry Undead, which is the Tomb Kings, and then wet Undead, which was the vampire counts. We say wet Undead because you had things like ghouls and zombies, which they have a very sort of visceral feel to them. Whereas Tomb Kings, obviously from a desert, quite dry and arid. Let's have a look. Where are the old beastmen? This is before they did the whole units could skirmish and then rank up. So just pretty much big blocks of units. And I think it's also when they had they dropped down the runes count because the old beastmen Gauls, just have 2 runes. This was a big change. Same with Chaos Warriors, a big change there came about. Let's have a look. Where are you, little evil stunties? I can't find you. What else? I think it might be at the back. Yes, right at the back. I should know. Play them quite enough. Right, oh yeah, here we are. Okay, so dwarfs with the hobgoblins, and you can take goblins and orcs and hobgoblin botfoes and sneaky gits. They were brilliant then because they could always lap around. I think they might. Oh yeah, they could always lap around. That's another thing that has gone now from the. I think that went in. This is last edition. Now you could do lap around the old Earthshaker cannon, but also each list had with it its own unique magic items. So you had the ones from the core book, which was common magic items. There weren't that many, enough to get you going, and then you had a selection from your list, and it also told you what law of magic you could use and any effects that like for example, dwarfs. I think when they fled, they pursued. It was always 2d6 -1 because no dwarfs have no knees, challenged by steps. So as we know, they fall over a lot. Yeah, so it's just been a nice little trip down memory lane looking at these old books. You can still get these on eBay, but you'll be fleeced for getting them on eBay. You'll pay a small fortune for them. I am going to do some battle reports in the future because, as I say, I have got my Mongolians, which I'm going to use as Empire because I can use them as the Kislevs quite easily. I've got my Chaos Dwarfs, I've got my Undead, and I've got Wood Elves. I think, and obviously my Gnolls I can use as Beastmen. So in the future, I am going to be playing some small games, or maybe some big games, once we get a lockdown, that is, of Warhammer Fantasy Battles 6th edition. So if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below and check back in for some battle reports hopefully in the future. Okay, I'll see you later.